We're in the studio together. I love it.
I love
Anytime
it
I
too.
can get in the studio with you, it's the best.
I love it.
You know what? I'll just be a fly on the wall here. Okay?
No. I mean, this is a tough one because David and
Yeah.
I have known each other for so long.
That's all right. I'll
And-
just remember that I was nothing more than a seed, you know?
You weren't even a seed. Yeah,
No.
you were like a thought.
No,
of a-
she was born. Just born.
when we met.
Oh, that's
84.
so cute, you guys.
84. That's right. We met in 1984.
It's coming up on 40 years.
You know, I saw John Parr yesterday over Zoom.
Uh-huh.
He was having lunch with my agent, Richard Weitz,
Oh, yeah.
at Johnny Parr. Man in Motion. He's still a man in motion.
Oh, he's,
Clearly.
he's amazing.
It's my
And
agent too, just so you know.
Richard White.
Yeah. Man in motion. He's a man in motion.
He
Are we
is.
rolling or are we?
This is it.
Oh, this
we
is
go
it.
in. Well,
Okay.
it's cashy mash.
Well, I'm going to say one thing and then we'll get it off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Rob and I met. I scored the movie St. Elmo's Fire. Rob, of course, starred in the movie and he was a young buck. But let me tell you something. Movie stars are quirky, you know, and they don't really necessarily pay attention to people like me. Rob Lowe, because he loves music so much, we bonded. He was so amazing. He agreed to be in the video and that struck a 40-year friendship. And it's just kind of unusual, but much appreciated.
Oh, and same. I remember vividly the day I came into the studio. I don't know why I came in the first place, but I did. And you played me the St. Elmo's Fire theme, the
Love theme.
love theme.
Yeah.
To picture. I mean,
Yeah.
bro.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
You guys must have been some serious studs. That's all I
Oh.
got to say. I mean, you guys are still hot, you know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
coming
good.
from you, we will take it. David and I had many a late night with Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But never up to anything terrible.
No, because you were in one of your 17 marriages always.
And cut to cat.
And Kat, you got it right.
You
Yes.
know what? It's okay. I was there for a few of them, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
okay.
I was there for all of them.
You really were.
I really
well,
was.
not the first one.
Did you
No,
go?
I was.
Hey,
No, you weren't.
You weren't at our wedding, so were you there for all the weddings?
I was there for the only wedding I was there for was Yolanda.
Yeah, I was invited to that one, but I couldn't make it.
It was. I will tell you, David. So David was when.
Wait, does this bother you?
Well, I don't think it's
I don't
not
wanna-
the favorite subject.
I don't
but,
want to
yeah.
pick on you because I love
He
you.
has a story about my wedding, but let's
we're
move
not.
on.
Okay.
We're not picking. We're not picking on you.
Okay, I just want you to know that I'm here for you and I love you.
Thank you, baby.
Listen, this just speaks to David as a producer. His wedding he did with Yolanda. I still want a recording of
Of everybody that performed.
not even. No, you know, all I want is I want the orchestral, like sitting down music.
Oh, yeah.
It was so sick.
Yeah.
Full orchestra.
Bill Ross.
Everybody's just getting seated and
You
talking.
had Bill Ross do your freaking wedding? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
No, it was all his amazing.
Well, I have a
music.
funny story to tell you because David was actually at my first wedding.
What?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I and my then new husband we got married in a church and David was there on the left side, one of the last people I saw as I went up to the altar. I had an amazing gospel choir sing throughout the church, the ceremony. And it was really beautiful. It was the best part of the ceremony. And it was,
It was the best part of your marriage. Oh, sorry.
God, you're horrible. Okay, but anyway, it's funny. Just want to take a little credit because I didn't go to your wedding with Yolanda because I didn't live in LA at that time. But you told me that you
stole the idea.
You stole the idea from my wedding.
No.
Gospel choir.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's true.
I remember people saying like, "Oh yeah, that gospel choir you had, David." And I'm like, "Oh, you had a gospel choir, did you?"
But anyway, moving on.
But that was a great.
Rob, so far you're terrible.
No. This is what people want.
Isn't this aren't those good stories though?
These are. We're just going to be in game, and this is going to be a little bit of picking on David, just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
I know that I've elaborated this story a little bit. I've stretched the truth a little bit. I talk about it in my one-man show, but my favorite move ever is the Man in Motion St. Elmo's Fire theme. David was so busy. This is my version of the truth,
Okay.
and you can tell me how much it's true. David is so busy. He's so in demand. He's working with Chicago. He's working with the Tubes. He's working with everybody, and he's Mr. Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is. At one point, we thought he was going to run for Prime Minister of British Columbia.
right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that era?
Yeah. The premier of British
the premier.
Columbia. Yeah.
Yes, I think you should still.
Yeah.
And you've been knighted
Exactly.
right?
It's the Order of Canada.
It's the Order of Canada.
Oh,
It's
boy, do I ever know. He tells me every morning.
It's a big deal.
I do know.
I have 3 friends who've been knighted.
Yeah.
Warren Michaels, Mike Myers, and you.
Excellent. It's a big honor.
No, it's a huge honor.
Yeah.
So he's busy, is my point. And he's very Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this young man who is going to be he's wheelchairing across Canada.
The world, actually.
The world.
Yeah, Rick Hansen, the
Jesus
world.
Christ, I didn't realize
25,000 miles.
25,000 miles. An amazing accomplishment to raise money. And David's going to write a theme for him. He's also going to write a theme for my movie. He doesn't have a lot of time. So he basically just writes one song for both.
It's true.
And if you really listen to the lyrics,
That's so you.
Yeah.
the lyrics of St. Elmo's Fire is about a group of college kids, period. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrics for Man in Motion is
About a wheelchair athlete.
a wheelchair athlete going across the world.
Right.
It has nothing to do with St. Elmo's Fire or anything
It's
else.
John Parr's lyric, not mine. John Parr wrote the lyric.
Oh, he did.
Yes, he did.
And apparently,
Brilliantly.
and so if you ever listen to that song, realize it's not about anything having to do with the movie. And apparently, having the phrase St. Elmo's Fire in a lyric is not easy.
Right.
Impossible. So that's why we stuck it on the end of the chorus. Da 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 da. St. Elmo's Fire means nothing.
You just threw it in.
Yeah, it means nothing.
It could have been Jabberwocky.
Yeah.
And did you think people were going to buy it?
That was a song, although it went to actually number 1, which is a hard place to get to. That was a song that I didn't think was a hit. And I was really wrong.
It went to number 1.
Number 1.
And you know what?
In many countries.
And do you know what beat us out the next weekend?
No.
Because I'm very competitive.
No.
Another fucking Canadians. Michael J. Fox's movie, The Power of Love.
Oh, Huey Lewis. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
we love Huey.
we love Huey. Kat, when you were growing up, what was your favorite Foz era song? Because one of my favorite things is I'll be driving and I'll go, and I'll turn to Cheryl, my wife, and go, listen to the radio, and I'll go, oh, you know about it this? She goes, I know, David wrote it, right? She's like,
oh, that's so cute.
Cheryl, we love our Cheryl.
So I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
So like for me, it was all the
Celine.
like Celine and R&B stuff, like stuff you did with Brandy and Monica. I didn't really know the 80s stuff until I met David, which was back in 2006. I was a contestant on American Idol. And then we started doing like events together, charity events together. And so he would always do his like little songs of hits that he had in like a rapid fire version.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started to learn all the you're the meaning and you're the inspiration. And
You're the Inspiration is the sickest.
yeah, but
It's
all
good.
that was in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So I really don't think I would know. My parents
You weren't
didn't-
alive.
Okay,
Well, I was alive.
No, you weren't alive for that song.
Foz, you got a piano right in
Really?
front of you.
Yes.
I have to ask you to go to the piano.
Okay.
Why is Chicago's You're the Inspiration so great, and why do even kids today love it so much?
Well, it's one of the few songs I've written that's sort of easy to sing.
Oh, it's so good. You're the meaning. They want me to sing it?
Yes.
You're the inspiration. Bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration. This is the part I changed the lyrics. I want to have you, baby.
Oh, yes.
I want to have you
And you
hear me sing. And no one needs you more than I need you.
Nice lick.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
And
So-
let's give credit to Peter Cetera. I mean,
But
come
you like
on.
how
That voice.
when we were dating, I was like, I want to have you, baby.
I want to have you. Isn't it? That was sick. How'd that sound in there?
That sounds great. This is great patch you got up on the piano, man.
Hey, thanks, man.
Little
You know me.
wispiness behind it.
Well, isn't there a patented David Foster sound?
There is actually.
There is, isn't
It comes
there?
up on a lot of keyboards. Yeah, it's called
It
the
does?
Fossified or.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What is it called?
Well, some of them, I think Yamaha calls it Fossified. And,
What?
And Roland calls it the Foster. Or,
No, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And that was very close
Yeah,
to
it's
it,
very close.
don't you think?
Yeah, very close. But not it.
Not it.
No.
There was a time where I was going to be doing some recording and doing whatever, and David saved me $500,000. You probably don't remember this. When I was going to buy a
you were gonna buy a-
synclavier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I was going to buy
But an idiotic move because you were it was an idiotic move.
Yeah.
By the way, you've saved a lot of friends from buying idiotic, expensive pianos.
Yeah.
I remember it vividly. Stevie Wonder had just had an album. It was entirely synclavier.
Yeah,
came
I
out.
mean, but it's so complicated, Rob. And I mean, not that you couldn't figure it out, but why would you spend your life trying to figure out this in clavier?
Well, I wasn't going to. I was going to have somebody else do it. But then that technology became free, basically free.
Punch a button.
Within 2 years.
Yeah. Well, 10 years.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Rob, how is your life? How chaotic? When I think of your life and I think of you've done more successful series than
Crazy.
anybody
I
I
know.
know. I mean, I see you in a fireman's hat. I see you in a suit. I see you in the Oval Office. I see you.
I know.
So many. I'm just wondering, how truly chaotic is your life?
Do you just love to work though, right? I mean,
Yeah, I have a huge work ethic.
mhm.
And
But a lot of people do. I mean, but they don't do exactly everything that you do.
True, but I have a lot of different curiosities. Like I love talking to people, right? So that's why I do this. And I love bringing out a side of people that maybe, folks wouldn't have seen, but for the fact, I mean, how would you know about the Synclavier story?
Right.
And how would you know about, we have so many stories to get to.
But when you go to bed at night, is your brain just so scrambled that you can't sleep? Or
No. I sleep like
A baby.
an Olympian.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah. If it were an Olympic sport, I'd be Michael Phelps of sleeping.
Wow.
I get a lot of sleep too.
And when
do
you wake,
you wear the ring?
I don't wear the ring.
I don't either.
I don't wear the ring. I do wear a sleep mask. I know I see you have
But
that.
you also probably don't wear a ring because when you got a lot of sleep.
Oh, I know.
I'm the same. And he loves to wear the ring.
I want to know if I slept good.
No, but don't you just know?
Wake me up if I'm
No.
sleeping well.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Let me know if I'm.
So in other words, you don't wake up exhausted.
Mm-mm.
No, you do.
No.
I do.
You have it's in your genes to wake up tired.
I know.
And your daughters, by the way, say the same thing. They're like, we're always tired. We're just like my dad.
Is it? But I can feel grumpy and like
Yeah.
I do sometimes do that, but I would recommend more work, more sleep,
Yeah.
less work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait, we have so much. Okay, so another great Foz story. So that I don't know if you know that David is, how do I put this? Not a huge fan
What do I not know about my husband?
of 3-chord rock and roll. He just isn't. He may not admit it publicly. I know he's not.
Right.
He's nodding.
No, that's true.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
No.
We're in Sirius XM, bro. There's classic rock right down the studio.
Right.
There's yacht rock. By the way, yacht rock. I'm assuming you've been on
What's
yacht rock.
what's
channel.
yacht
course.
rock?
Yacht
What
rock
that?
is my kind of music, the kind of music I made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Love
mean,
your kind
isn't
of
it?
music.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I would always be talking about Bruce Springsteen or this,
Mhm.
that, and then David would just be like, "Oh, please." And when David did "Tears Are Not Enough,"
Mm-hmm.
which is the,
I don't think I know that song.
No, it's the Canadian anthem of the Canadian equivalent of "We Are the World."
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yes. Voices that can.
No, that was Voices. That was a different
Oh.
thing.
that was another one. David's got. If it's a Canadian anthem of any type,
Yeah.
David did it.
But that one was really good.
But I know
But
the story you're going to tell, I think.
And you have one of my favorites. I just saw, by the way, at the Roxy last week. Neil Young.
Famous Canadian.
And,
I know who he is.
Yeah, and Neil. David also has, as you know, perfect pitch.
Yes. Well, he used to.
Oh, really?
That's another story.
And tell them this. You have Neil in the vocal booth.
Neil in the vocal booth, and the cameras are rolling. And when you're doing a big hoopla like that, we had
Oh, I love this
Oscar,
story.
Oscar Peterson there, and Joni Mitchell, and Anne Murray, and Bryan Adams, and every Canadian star that ever was at the time we had. And the cameras are rolling, and so you forget that the cameras are rolling. You just want to do a good
You're
job.
just doing your job.
Yeah, and I was a hothead. I was like, a perfectionist. And Neil Young, I didn't know a lot about him, sadly. I do now, but he was just like singing so out of tune. And I was like, Neil, can we try one more? You got to like lift up on the pitch, but you're a little flat, right? And the cameras are, and people are like, don't say that. It's Neil Young. He's royalty. And Neil goes, yeah, man, that's my sound. And so that was that. He sang out of tune.
Yeah,
That was that.
That's my sound.
Yeah,
it is
man,
kind of
that's my
amazing how
sound.
people. It's just a thing. You would have. By the way, his band didn't know when to stop the song, start. So they literally did not know.
You
Isn't that
probably
crazy?
respected it, right?
No, I don't
You
think he
didn't?
gave, I don't think he gave a shit about me then or now.
Okay.
That's probably
Is he
true.
still
Yeah.
alive?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He just saw him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he's.
You just saw him at the Roxy.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Now, have you read Barbara's book yet? Barbra Streisand's book.
We looked at it yesterday in the bookshop. I should have bought it.
We were just at Barnes & Noble yesterday. We didn't, but you know what we did read? is the Britney
Britney.
Spears.
Is David in the Britney Spears
No,
book?
no. He didn't actually finish the last few chapters.
I wouldn't be in there. I don't know.
But we
her.
loved it. We thought it was great.
I thought it was great.
No, but we have to read the Barbara.
Yeah.
But also David can just pick up the phone and call Barbara whenever he wants.
Well,
So there's
There's
that.
David.
that.
this
Maybe I
leads,
should get her to read to me.
this leads me to, and I'll make it very, very quick.
Did you read the book?
Not yet. And I'm going to listen to Barbara. I've heard excerpts of Barbara reading it, and what's amazing is how she really
Poignantly.
takes
Her time?
her time.
Oh, boy.
And the book
Oh,
is very long.
900 pages.
It's 900 pages.
No, is
On
it?
Barbara, you can pace it up a little bit.
Yeah. But,
Wow.
that's her. That you would expect that from her.
So I,
Expect that for her to talk slowly?
No. You
Oh.
expected her book would be 900 pages. She's had a
Lot of
long life
stories,
and
yeah.
she's very detailed. And so it makes sense that she would go into detail with every story. That makes sense.
this is going to be one of those interviews where be like, yeah, David and Kat on, you made it all about you. And I'm sorry, but there are stories.
Well,
that
you know Barbara.
that you're a part of, and I know Barbara. And one of them, when I do my one-man show,
Mm-hmm.
I always end.
Which I've seen and loved, by the way.
It's fun, right?
Yes.
And you were
loved it.
You were so sweet. To
Loved it.
I end it always with this story, which I'm going to truncate. But basically, it's, David and I have a gag that we do. Describe the gag we like to do.
We like to do St. Elmo's Fire, the love
yes.
theme.
Doesn't he play it? or
Yeah,
something?
and Rob can mimic the love theme saxophone part perfectly, down to the breathing, down to everything. It's perfect.
But it's not real.
It's not real.
Right.
No, there's a guy behind a curtain playing it.
People really believe it's you.
Oh yeah,
They not only they really believe, people who should really know better believe it. So the one time I really remember, I look out in this audience.
Michael from King World, Michael King's house,
Michael King's
square
house.
tables outside.
Outside, I remember
President Clinton.
President Clinton, and I look out and my whole thing was I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to fake it, and then halfway through and kill,
Stop
right?
playing,
I'm going to
right.
stop playing and everybody will laugh. But I look out and I see President Clinton doing the Wayne's World "We're Not Worthy" gesture
No,
to
And
me,
Barbara.
Stop.
and Barbara, and
They were that into it.
oh no, beyond. And I'm like, and then my actor's ego kicked in. And then I was like, fuck this. I'm going to ride this horse all the way to the barn. And I come off the stage and Cheryl Lowe looks at me like, you
idiot.
Yeah. And
You could go to jail for this.
so I'm super excited about it, but feeling really guilty at the same time. Oh, and Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is,
no.
dude, Quincy Jones is, I'm telling you, within 5, give me some of that St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, yeah. If Quincy was
Play this while I tell the story. It's great. And Quincy Jones is standing right in front of the bell of the sax. There's no air coming out of it.
right,
None. There's
And
nothing
he
coming out of it.
still
And
believed
Quincy
you.
Jones is yelling. I'll never forget. He was yelling, "Blow, Rob Lowe," and
hello, Rob.
"Blow, Rob Lowe." Wait.
This is a really great story.
Yeah. Here.
Go, Rob.
It's too high now. It's too high.
Well, that's the key. I wrote it in.
know. That's too high. I could have done the first part.
Blow, Rob, blow.
Blow, Rob.
Blow, Rob, blow, blow.
And so I feel guilty, and I'm thinking, fuck it. What am I going to do? It's over now. I can't ever redo. And then I get a letter from President Clinton.
No, stop it.
Yes. I get a letter from President Clinton saying, I had no idea you were such a good saxophone player.
Right, 'cause as a saxophone player myself.
Yes. And he says, and please, I want to invite you to the White House, and I want to
To do a concert.
I want to do a duet with you.
My God.
I have an invitation to come to the White House to do a duet. I don't really play. President Clinton thinks I do. Now what?
Now what do you
I
do?
call David. I go, David, I think we have
Do you remember
a problem.
Do you remember the call?
Yeah, of course. Houston, we have a problem.
I go, we have a problem. Bill Clinton thinks I'm a real saxophone player and wants me to come to the White House. And David goes, no. Don't worry. I just solved it. I told Barbara it was all a joke. And now I'm like, and then, so Barbara then calls the president
Right.
and says it's a joke. So when people say to me, when did you know you finally made it? I said, when I entered a shame spiral involving the president of the United States, Barbra Streisand, and David Foster.
Oh,
That's
my
when I knew
God.
I made it.
That's a great story.
That is right.
They all bought it. Blow, Rob, blow, blow.
Why don't you tell everybody about the time you talked me into flying up on your private plane to Canada?
Well,
You had a private plane?
Early.
no, I chartered it. We chartered it.
I was joking.
He's still trying to get that plane.
He is
Aren't we
still-
all?
I know.
I know. No one's tried to get that plane harder than Foz.
Nope.
Nobody I know.
It's true. It's true.
Literally, this guy. It's all
His
about
obsession.
It's all about
What did
the
I
airplane.
just say to you this morning about private plane? So I'm taking a private plane back to
Oh
Chicago
my gosh!
tomorrow
He's taking a
And
private plane.
because it was part of the situation
deal.
to get me
Yeah,
here.
of course.
Yeah.
And so I said to her, "Well, you tell her tell Rob what I said."
Well,
I said,
no, I think you were talking about the money, the $1 million a month tax.
No.
rate.
I was talking about just the actual ride. I said, what about,
Oh,
how
right,
about if
right.
I fly commercially tomorrow to Chicago
Yeah.
and I'll bank that chip so that you and I can use it
And
for
I
somewhere
said,
else?
no. I said, no, babe, you cannot. You need to take this by yourself. I said, I will be fine, no matter like which.
Good wife.
He's earned the right.
Yeah,
Good
you
wife.
need to take that private flight.
Well, I
He's-
unfortunately did the early version of this. And
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
it was a Lear 25.
Lear 25 we're flying.
They don't fly anymore, the Lear 25.
Well,
Well,
let me-
they barely flew that time.
I just want to say to the audience
Yes.
who maybe don't know this about David. David not only loves the luxury of private aviation, as everyone
Yeah.
does, but it's beyond that. David is obsessed with airplanes. So
I know.
he knows everything.
pilot.
He's a
Or
pilot.
was,
yeah,
yeah,
was a
for a while.
pilot.
It was.
And knows how the mechanics work and knows he'll say, what plane are you on? And I said, I don't know. And then I'll tell him the windows are, he'll know what plane it is. So I just want that to be a disclaimer that it's not that you're obsessed with
No.
the luxury of it. Yes, but also.
I think you flew with me once in my twin prop job. No,
I
maybe?
did. Is that the one you
Yeah.
crashed?
No, it was a different one.
Okay.
But anyway, we
another
took this
story.
Learjet. So when I started my foundation, I wanted to start off with a bang. So I called all my famous friends.
This is like 1985.
Yeah. Wayne Gretzky.
I was one.
Wayne.
Amazing.
I know.
So depressing.
I know. I can't wait till she turns 40. It's going to happen in 3 months. I can't.
You going to come to the
Wait.
party, Rob?
Yeah. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Can't wait. My wife's in her 40s. Finally, I can say that.
Yes.
Anyway, Rob Lowe, Alan Thicke, Wayne Gretzky, and me, the four of us, in a Learjet.
Like at the height,
I've
the
seen-
height of the Brat Pack.
I've
St. Elmo's
actually
Fire.
seen the picture of
And
you
the-
all. It's,
yeah.
and it's cute
Great.
photo.
And
It's a
all
great
of us
photo.
in our
Yeah.
sweats.
Very
Gretzky
cute.
from the height of the Edmonton
Oh.
Oilers.
Alan Thicke killing it on the TV
Y'all
show.
look really
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
We get in this Learjet. We're landing in Victoria, and I'm up front on my knees where I always am, just watching because I love it. Wayne Gretzky hates to fly. He's so nervous, but he's drinking a lot on the plane, right, just to get over the nerves. I look at the pilot. He throws the gear down, and no green lights come on. And all of a sudden, they start scrambling, and I was like, even me, I was
With
like,
all your friends.
yeah,
on
I was
the-
like, oh shit. First of all, I'm never going to get mentioned in this crash because it's going to be.
Well, we had a whole discussion about it.
Yeah.
We decided everybody started drinking really, really heavily, and the discussion became if and when the plane goes down, how will it be described in the press? And we finally decided. There's a lot of argument of who would be first billed,
Uh-huh.
and we finally decided that if it
I think it's
came-
Gretzky.
well,
It's
no,
Victoria.
no. We didn't.
Canada.
We didn't really know where I remember it being a different place in the flight. You're probably right.
Okay.
But my thing was, if it comes down in Canada, it's Gretzky.
Yeah.
If it comes down in the United States,
It's you.
me.
Yeah.
And Alan Thicke said, in either place, I will be and others.
Exactly. Me
Alan
too.
said that?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Which made me, we've been through it, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, the gear didn't come down, but then they recycled it. They gained altitude and recycled the gear, and it did come down. But that was a bit, you can survive a gearless landing, but it's not easy.
Yeah. We had a scary flight once. Well, you weren't that scared. Remember the gear was locked and wouldn't come up?
Wouldn't come up. Yeah.
And then we were with Lionel Richie
Yeah.
and his
Yeah.
girlfriend. Yeah.
Just because I want to hear it, David, can you give me a little Buzz Skaggs love look at you've done for me just for a second?
Yeah.
Just because I love that song.
Only if
so
my wife will
much.
sing it.
Do I know it?
I'll pass it to you.
Okay.
Do I know it?
Well, I know this part, but is it a song?
Is it a song?
Is it a song?
No, I mean, it's not just instrumental.
No.
I don't think I know this song.
Love.
Oh.
Look what
Love,
you've done
look
to
too high.
me.
Love. Well, listen to you. Look what you've
Done to me.
Never knew.
Never thought I'd love falling love so easily. Oh, love. No, I got it now.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
Leaving me to feel this way.
Yeah.
Oh no, so I do know that song.
I like that song a lot.
You don't do that one very much.
No, I never do it
Oh,
live.
Why?
Buzz.
I don't know.
You got to add that to your.
Let's talk about Kat.
There's not that much to talk about.
No, there is. I want to know because I'm a huge Christmas person.
Okay, you're like me.
Love it.
It's like they say. I saw that meme on social. It's like there's a new study that shows people who celebrate Christmas earlier are happier people. That's me.
The one thing is, I do not believe in doing any of it until Thanksgiving, though.
Yeah, I was sort of raised that way too. But because we have a Christmas album out called Christmas Songs,
Buy it.
but you
Buy
can
it.
stream it now. Then that it just sort of forces me. And also, we have a 2.5-year-old now, so he's like everything. As soon as the Halloween thing was over, he sees Christmas stuff, and he's like sees Christmas stuff, and he says, "Oh!" He gets all excited. So I'm in the spirit already.
What are the what songs did you do on this version?
I proved to myself that people only want to hear the classics.
No,
they don't want new songs.
By the way, can I tell you something? I'm very opinionated on this.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
I don't want to hear I don't even want to hear "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree."
No.
Right.
I don't want to hear any of it.
You want to hear Bing
I don't want
Crosby,
to hear
Frank
Chrissy
Sinatra.
Hind singing Christmas songs or any. I don't want to hear Mariah Carey sing that. Excuse me, fucking song. I don't.
It's too much, right?
It's
You've
too
heard
much.
it too many times.
I want and then this is going to sound. I want to hear like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Well, that's funny you say that because we actually have a song. Basically, last year we thought we would just, we should put out like a song for the holiday season, and then it turned into 6 songs, and then Concord Records put out the 6 songs.
Loma Vista
Records. And then they decided to complete the full, so it's like a completed album. So we did 7 more songs this year. And we did do Amazing Grace, which is not really...
With the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
With the Mormon Tabernacle, which is, it's on this...
Was that sick? How was that recording?
It was
them?
so beautiful.
Was this beyond belief?
Beyond. And I've worked with them before with Stevie Wonder and with Josh Groban and with Bocelli. It's always a complete religious experience.
It has to be, right?
It's organized.
Phenomenal.
And just, it was really, really lovely. So we put that song on the album Christmas Songs, even though it's not like a holiday song per se.
Ave Maria's on it?
Nope.
No.
Why did I feel like, did you do
He did that with Celine.
Oh,
It's
that was
so good.
Celine.
And Bocelli.
But
And Bublé.
Susan, I think Celine's is my favorite.
But to your point, Rob.
You are like the king of Christmas, and you're like the least Christmassy person I know.
But to Rob's point about
Did you
Christmas
hear what I
songs,
just said
heard
about you?
Like, I hate songs that where like they go.
Give me some of this.
Hang all the stockings around the tree.
Boo.
It's going to be Christmas for you and me.
Vomit.
I mean,
Vomit.
yeah, I know that. Like, I hate those songs.
Boo. Vomit.
Nobody wants to hear a new Christmas song.
No.
I love, oh God. I mean, Oh Night Divine? Is that the is that,
Holy Night.
Holy
Oh Holy Night. Oof. That's my favorite.
Celine
It
killed
is
it.
my other favorite one, which we didn't do, but
No, we didn't.
we didn't do that. But Celine's version is, and actually Mariah's version is really
White
great
Christmas
too.
is modernish, but and Silver Bells. I know that those aren't traditional,
Yeah.
but I'm a big Silver Bells
Okay.
Is
guy.
Silver
We
Bells
didn't
not
do that.
traditional?
No.
I feel like Silver Bells is traditional. It's just not overdone. Let me clear my throat. It's a little high. No. It's Silver
too high?
Bells. No. Silver Bells.
Yeah.
Silver Bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling. Then you go ring-a-ling. Sing
Yes.
it. Hear them ring. Dave, sing.
Oh.
Soon it will be
Christmas.
You like how I just
Day.
snapped at you?
And I like this.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks.
Less bouncy, David, less bouncy.
Less bouncy. Da-da. I don't know the words.
I
Hmm?
produce myself.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that.
I work alone.
I work alone.
I work alone. I love that. That made me. It was so fun to
I
give
wanted
David
you to
direction.
chime in. I wanted people to hear your singing voice.
No thanks. Well, I'm not on mic anyway.
Do you remember the Ray Conniff singers, Foz?
Ray Conniff.
Conniff, that guy?
Ray Conniff. Well, they
Ray
were
Conniff.
great. Yeah.
They were great.
You're really corny, aren't you?
Yes.
You can't
But-
be too corny at Christmas.
No, you can't. That's the thing.
Do you-
Here's what you don't want to be at Christmas. Cool.
Bah humbug,
That's
like this
right.
guy
That's
right here.
the fucking problem
Yeah.
with all these modern day. They're
Yeah.
cool. I don't
Yeah.
want cool. I want corny.
Do you actually like Christmas?
I like Christmas. Yeah.
You don't love it though.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Oh my God, I told you.
Wait, what? Do you wait? Look, let's face it. He's not out buying the Christmas gifts, is he?
No.
No, you're not going to the stores.
It's a lot of pressure.
What's the pressure?
Why?
I love Christmas.
I do too. I love to decorate like but even when I go crazy and decorate, you kind of are like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
You don't get that excited.
I like it.
You don't actually get like super excited about anything.
No.
He doesn't, right? I mean, you've known him a long time.
Trying to think.
Airplanes.
Yeah, airplanes.
He gets super excited about, and he does get super excited about finding some new talent he loves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
You do.
yeah, the day I stumbled upon Celine, and again, preface, she was already famous in Quebec, so it's not like I discovered her.
You were excited
But-
about me for a long time.
Oh, I still am. But to hear, a great voice is exciting to me.
Yeah.
What was
That is
give me the Celine, where I have this vision like she was like at a state fair.
Yes, she was.
Was she? Okay,
Well, it
so
was
I was
a
right.
Sunday afternoon picnic in the rain, families running, kids running all over the place. She was up there singing I Will Survive. And she couldn't speak any English, so it was just all phonetic. But she was like killing that. I was just like,
unreal.
I was just staring at the stage and I was like looking around. I was going, do you people that are all talking at your picnic tables, do you know what you're seeing here? This was in Quebec.
Right.
And I talked to her afterwards.
But it was all her family. They've heard her a million times, right? So they were just,
Well, no, it was open to the public.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then we I helped bring her down to LA and did her first record.
What about?
Michael Bublé.
It was just the music. I mean, it was just the voice, the tone,
The voice.
and the range.
The voice.
But the way, I mean, like nobody has her.
She can do Celine. Watch this.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
I
Watch this.
can't.
Yes, you can. There you go.
I do like a very cartoon version of.
Come on
It takes
now.
me a second to get into
Yeah, it
it.
takes a
but-
minute.
I know.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life,
Good?
for all the wrongs that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you.
Even with that last bit.
No.
You did too, you got to do it 3 times.
For all the love I found in you.
No.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's so good.
I
Is that
mean,
good?
It's okay.
It's so good.
It's really
And
good.
she doesn't actually do anybody
Meh.
else.
I love when she goes, maybe I don't know that. You know, she does that. Oh, it's so good.
So fucking. I
Yeah.
could do this all night. And the other thing we have to talk about is your production on Whitney's on I Will Always Love You.
That whole
Yeah.
album is so good.
Yeah.
What you're among your contributions is the famous break at the beginning, right?
We call Boom and I.
Boom and I. Tell me about this.
Because it's boom. And I.
A boom and die.
Boom and I.
Boom and die.
Boom and I. Anita Whitaker came up with that for me. She said, that boom and I moment.
That's
Boom
the great.
and I.
The boom and I
And
moment.
yeah, exactly.
Well, it was a simple little country song. And I've always tried in my record making to create those moments where I would imagine the audience would jump up in their feet in the middle of the song. And I didn't figure that, it didn't happen very often, but when it did, like in that or All By Myself with Celine where she hits the high note, and Boom and I was probably the greatest example of that.
I never heard that actually.
No, Boom and I?
That's cute.
All By Myself is who sang?
Celine. Well, it was originally Eric Carmen.
Oh,
Great song.
yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
took it and
sure.
reimagined it.
I never needed
Anyone
anyone.
making love was just for fun.
Those days are
Those
gone.
days
But
are
it's got an extremely high note in it.
So crazy
Like,
high.
it's so
I'm
high,
still
but-
working on that high note.
Yeah, but it's so powerful
What's-
that it's so effective.
What's the highest note you've ever heard a human being sing? It's got to be Mariah Carey.
Probably Mariah. Or no,
Well-
Minnie Riperton. Probably.
Oh, Minnie Riperton.
Yeah, Minnie Riperton. But it's,
But not in like a belt.
but
'cause
once
then-
you get up there, it's still
sounds-
just a squeak. It's
It
not
sounds
Yeah.
weird.
it's not a talent.
It sounds
Is
weird,
it?
right?
Can you sing up there, babe?
No, I used to be able to do whistle tones before
Do
I
it.
had. No, I
Try it.
can't.
You can't do it at all?
No, my voice is too healthy now.
Oh.
My voice was unhealthy for a long time, and I was able to do like the sort of airy whistle tones. Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
I saw Kenny Loggins yesterday.
Oh, love him.
We did a thing for Santa Barbara Charities, and I told him I was going to be seeing you. He loves you.
You got a
He's-
great Kenny Loggins story.
I do.
Well, isn't that the story about how he said
She's
boy?
going to get Kenny's mixed up. It's
Oh.
Kenny Rogers.
Oh, sorry.
I like that. She's going to get Kenny's. She's going to get the Kenny.
All the Kennys. Kenny G, Kenny Rogers, Kenny Loggins. Worked for them
And-
all.
and
I
you
know
work for
who
them all.
Kenny G
Yeah.
is.
Kenny
You-
G's your friend.
Kenny G's my buddy.
Yeah.
Love
He's
Kenny.
great.
Speaking of a guy who loves airplanes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? Tell me the Kenny Rogers story. I'm down for Kenny Rogers.
Well, it just goes back to we do this in our show. we have great banter in our show together because we believe it or not have
Can't
great
you
chemistry.
tell?
Yeah.
So I was producing Kenny Rogers and Chicago at the same time. And this song was number one right now that Peter and I wrote.
Da-da-da-da-da. Right? Oh. But it needs a little time away. I heard her say, from each other.
So that song was number one. And I was producing Kenny at the time. I was doing this song with Kenny. We've got tonight.
Oh, good one. We've got tomorrow. Who needs tomorrow?
Anyway, and so that was a big hit. So me and Kenny were...
Wait, is that Bob Seger?
Yes, but we covered it as a duet with Sheena Easton and Kenny Rogers, and it was a big hit.
Yes.
Anyway, so he says, why don't you boys write me one of those Chicago songs, man? I'd love to have one of those. They're great. And Kenny was a wonderful guy. Did you know him at all?
No.
He was an amazing character. You know, we'd go to McDonald's on breaks. He'd drive his little Ford Geo or Chevy Geo or whatever. He'd just pull up. I said, Kenny, aren't you worried you're going to get mobbed? He says, I don't care. I love people. You know, and he would just go, no security. And, you know, he was massively huge.
Yeah. Yes.
Arena tours all over the world.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s. You kidding me?
Anyway, so Peter Cetera and I got excited. We said, yeah, we'll write you a song. So we wrote him a song and we played it for him.
And you're like, this is a hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. You're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration.
So that's the song we wrote for Kenny Rogers. And we played it for Kenny. And Kenny, he said, boys, I appreciate it, but I don't think that's a hit. So we did it with Chicago instead. But you know what? You can't be right all the time.
You can't be right all.
It wasn't right for him.
I wonder what it was.
It wasn't right for him. And probably wasn't
Maybe
right
it was, you know, and it might not have been a hit
But
with
it's funny,
him.
though, that he said,
That's
I
right.
want a Chicago hit.
Yeah.
Like a Chicago-esque song.
And to that point.
And then you just gave it to Chicago.
Over the years, I've had so many people, you know, back in the day that call me to produce them. And they'd say, yeah, we really want you to produce my artist, but we don't really want that David Foster sound. It's like, that's all I know.
That's such a weird
Strange thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is very odd.
Yeah. You know what I had to talk about a little bit?
Yes.
No, you don't need to.
No, I just wanted to talk about your series Smash on
Oh,
NBC.
I have a lot of thoughts about that.
Yeah, I know you do because we've talked about it before.
It was like 100 years ago.
Well, do you think these songs were 300 years ago?
If that's 100 years ago, the songs were 300 years ago.
300.
You're right.
I was such a fan of that show, as you know. No lie. We weren't dating then. You were
It's
married.
true. You texted me.
And
a lot
I
during
was
that
like,
time.
God, this show is amazing. And the fact
You were
that
proud of me.
Yeah, I was. And the fact that it only got 2 seasons was so crazy. Spielberg produced.
But I will say this about Smash, because I was on that network at the same time.
Oh, that's right.
Never in the history of the entertainment business has a network
I know.
tried harder
I know.
than on that show.
It was pretty wild.
Oh my, dude! They
Because of
made every other show
Yeah.
stop shooting and do a musical
Yeah.
Wow.
to promote the
Well,
show.
it
It's
was-
famous. It's on YouTube right
It was
now.
Bob Greenblatt's first year
Yes.
with NBC, and he was like, "This is going to be my baby."
What was the
So
song that we did that we all had to? The Parks and Rec cast were
Oh, I don't
singing and
know.
dancing. The 30 Rock cast was
Let
singing.
me- I
The
don't know.
Office and
Let Me Be Your Star?
And,
No, I
and
don't
it was
think so.
all for. It was all for.
That is really
show.
wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. No, you had the full power of every.
They blew it up. I remember the Super Bowl that year. It was like every other commercial was for Smash. But sometimes even when you throw the
Yeah.
The
kitchen sink at it, it just doesn't. I mean, it did well for the first.
It must
year,
have been
but-
too niche, I guess. Too niche. You know, that not
Yeah.
enough people care about Broadway. I don't know.
I don't know. You were great in it.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks.
They both were, her and Megan. Angelica Houston.
Angelica
Yeah,
Houston.
they, it
Deborah
was a great,
Messing. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
Deborah.
a really
it was a
good
great cast.
It was awesome. I love. I mean, TV musicals are sick. I love musicals. Period.
They don't work though on TV.
I wonder why. Oh,
I know.
have you done one of the live ones? I feel like one of the NBC.
I haven't.
How have
No.
you not done that? Because the only good one that I
Maybe
saw
I
was
just-
Sound of Music.
I
Was
just don't have a
great.
very good
I'll
agent.
bet.
Maybe.
I'll
Sound
bet.
of Music was one of the first
I can
ones they
name
did live.
5 I saw that I didn't like.
You mean that one? That one was with Carrie Underwood.
I thought it was good.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, listen. For me, no one is better than Julie Andrews. So
Well, I mean that goes
Yeah.
without saying.
no, I think that it's nice that they do those shows because it's just like it just keeps that genre and that world alive. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that they do them, and families love it. It's like great family watching.
It's a good segue to just say that I'm in Chicago right now with my musical Betty Boop.
Yes,
And we open this Sunday night in Chicago.
No, wait, really?
Yes. No,
No
this
way.
This has nothing to do with me, but yeah, David's
Yeah.
show is opening, and I'm going to go see it on. Well, it's opening for previews
On the 19th, it opens really on December 6th.
So I will be there December
In
6th.
Chicago.
So you
Boop,
did
musical.
you did the score.
Yeah.
It's
Who did the book?
so beautiful.
A guy named Bob Martin, who's a wonderful writer. His last conquest was a show called The Prom, which did very well.
Yeah.
And Jerry Mitchell's directing, who's amazing. And Susan Birkenhead did the lyrics, and she's a real great lyricist. So it's a great team. We have David Rockwell doing the sets. We have Tony Winners doing it. It's a great crew. It's a cast and crew of 100 people there right now in Chicago. I came here just for this weekend,
Amazing.
and I'll be going back.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm glad that you did. This was so much fun.
It was.
We could go.
I mean, we got to go again.
I mean, my favorite thing is the picture of you and I drinking kamikazes out of the Stanley Cup. I have that photo.
Oh, yeah.
I miss those good days. But, he doesn't drink.
you don't
he
miss
doesn't-
Me neither. But how about what? That it's a kamikaze. Do they even make that drink
I have
anymore?
never even heard of that
It's
drink.
so-
Actually,
I don't know.
It's so 1985.
How long have you not drank for?
30.
Oh wow,
1 years?
you both don't drink.
31 years.
Well, I never drank.
It's 1990.
Well, you
Yeah.
clearly did drink if you were drinking.
Well,
you just brought
I
up.
mean, I drank a little bit, but
No.
not like wasted on the lawn of the Parliament buildings in
you
Victoria.
were you at his bachelor party before he got married to Linda?
I was not.
Oh, because I heard that one was a wild time.
Ed Snyder saved me.
Oh, I did. It was
Ed.
Let's not talk about it.
so many friends. Yeah, me passed out on the lawn of
Oh my god.
Of the Parliament buildings in Victoria the night after our event.
Oh my god.
it's a career highlight.
You guys
It
are
was in the
crazy.
paper. They took a picture of him in the paper.
Stop it.
Yeah. 6 a.m. sleeping on
You're
the lawn.
kidding me. Is this real?
That may or may not be true.
No, it's real. It's real.
That's amazing. I mean, it's not
But
amazing.
your wife knows about it. I'm not telling you anything out of
everybody,
school, right?
please.
It was in the paper, for God's sakes.
Google me.
young, wild, and free.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, Rob Lowe and his contemporaries then.
And I did a lot of stupid stuff too.
But they owned the world. They owned it. They were like the Rat Pack. They were the Sinatra and the Dean Martin.
It was
They
fun.
owned it.
Wow.
They could, they were riding as high as you could high, and then you continued
And David wrote the theme.
higher and higher.
Boom and I.
Boom and I.
Boom and I.